How's it going, everybody? Coming to you today from the driveway. We're going to be installing the Zeta Racing skid guard on the Honda Monkey today. We're going to go through step by step, show you how to do it, tell you what to think about it, and go from there. So stick around. It's going to be a good one. When you get your skid plate, it's going to come in this like hard plastic bag. It's sealed up, so you'll have to have something to cut it. But the packaging on it's pretty good. I'm assuming that's all of my hardware. Looks like a pretty quality skid plate. So let's open up the packaging and see what's inside. This skid plate itself, have a look at it. The welds are really good. It's a little bit thinner than you're used to, or what I'm used to on my other aluminum skid plates. I guess because it's for the Monkey, they don't expect you to actually be doing anything crazy. But the welds look pretty good. Yeah, so that's the skid plate. You get a bag of bolts and instructions. Just a piece of packing styrofoam. And that's one of the mounts. And there's your other mount. So, all in all, looks pretty quality. Looks pretty good. Let's see what the instructions say. You can kind of see pictures of it here. Yeah, looks fairly straightforward. So, if you need a separate language, it's on the back, English on the front. So let's get started installing it. The first step says to remove the exhaust so that you can take this mount and mount it to the motor. It says it's too tight on the left-hand side to get the bolt tightened up. I've already put it on and tested. You can do this without removing the exhaust. It's a little bit tight, but it can be done. You just take your mount, slide it over the exhaust, use a 6mm Allen key for the right hand side of the bike, and I run it up a good bit of the way so that you're not having to hold the mount while you're trying to get the bolt started and everything. Take the bolt on the other side, and you kind of got to worm it up in there, and you're slowly working it by hand, but you can get it up there and get it tight with a pair of channel locks, or a pair of regular pliers will fit in there. And I imagine the channel locks will let me get pretty close to the same torque that a 6mm hex will. So like I said, once you get the right hand side up where you don't have to hold the mount, get the left hand side started, and you kind of got to wiggle it back and forth, get your threads started, and then it'll go. There we go. And then you'll just there. Got it just hand tight in case it needs to make any movement or any adjustments while we attach the rest. But it can be done with the exhaust on. Just use your pair of channel locks and cinch it down. Next step, you're going to remove these bolts. There's one on each side that are the bolt for the cover of the sensors. You're going to use an 8mm and remove them from each side. After you remove each one from each side, take your mount. You're going to go bolt on the outside of the mount, and the mount goes to the outside of the guard. And then you'll just kind of get them started back. You want to leave them loose so that you have room to maneuver everything. So they're not tight yet, leave them loose, but just go right back in with the bolt you just took out. As you can see here, it's trying to go on the inside of it. You want it on the outside. So just reline it. It's super easy. They're nothing there, no real pressure. So just run these down finger tight for right now, because you got to be able to wiggle this to move it to get your bolts to line up on your skid plate. And that's what's next. I went ahead and cinched down the bolts on the back, but I've left the ones on the front loose so that I've got plenty of room to move my front bracket. You're going to take your skid plate. You've got 4 holes that correspond to 4 bolts on the back and 2 on the front, and you'll just use the included button head bolts to put them in, and they are a 5mm hex is what you'll need. Just kind of put them in, get them started. You're not running anything tight yet, not until you get everything bolted up. Once you get all your bolts started, you'll just kind of center it up the best you can, and just kind of slowly tighten these down. Making for sure that they're where you want them. And as you can see, my hex key is a little too tall to get underneath there now. Also, don't forget to tighten up the mount up here on each side. That is that 8mm. So once you got everything in position where you want it, now it's just a matter of tightening everything up and squaring it, and then you're done. So I'm going to finish buttoning this up, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so here it is. Looks pretty good. You've got plenty of room underneath your exhaust all the way across. Looks like you could easily add an aftermarket exhaust that would come straight down. You've got plenty of room for that. Mounts up good here. Everything looks really good. The only thing I worry about is still catching my sensors on each side, especially since I have already caught this one and bent it and almost ripped it out. So I'm really curious on those. I kind of wish this came up higher right here to where it made for sure nothing could hit it. But I mean, technically, something would have to hit and then come inside, which it could do. I don't know, maybe I might end up making like some wings that come up just a little bit more. It wouldn't be hard to do to just drill into this and get another little piece of aluminum and extend this up. I'll show you what it looks like with the straight edge and see how much room we've actually got. It actually clears a lot more than I thought it would, and you'd have to go quite a ways to be able to catch that. So hopefully I will not catch those anymore. But that is it. That is the first looks and install of the Zeta Racing skid plate for the Honda Monkey. This thing is getting ready for some more adventures, some more off-roading, and some more monkeying around the Ozarks. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ignore the noises in the background, and we will catch you next time.